Oh, that's a big vat of them. I have those things happen to me all the time. I think the one that comes up that spirit like brought right to the front was when I got mugged in Manhattan. And yeah, and so I was at the time in acting classes downtown I was at HB Studio, so that was downtown. And we went to class and we, did our whole scene study and all that stuff. And I had a couple of friends that, from acting class, and we um finished class and we went to a pizzeria. And I had my bag on the back of my chair. And when we went to pay for our pizza, my bag was gone. Or maybe my wallet, my bag, something, it was gone. I didn't have any money. I didn't have any credit cards. We didn't have cell phones at the time. And and I ended up, my friends actually said, well, we have other things to do. Good luck. One of them gave me $20 and then they left me. And I was in the city by myself. My car had a club on it. So my car was parked up in Midtown, and it had a club on the steering wheel. So I couldn't open it. I couldn't get in the car. So I called, I asked for help to get in the car. They wouldn't give me help because I didn't have the registration, because the registration was in the car and I didn't have my wallet. And, so it worked out that um I got to a payphone. I called my dad, and he's like, because he's on Long Island. My mother was actually in the city at Lincoln Center. She was at a show. So I said, okay, let me walk all the way up to Lincoln Center now that's like 70 blocks from where I was. And to get to her, to get to the ballet, get to the show so I can find a way home with her. And I got all the way up there and the show had ended and she was gone. She wasn't there. Now there's no cell phones. This was back in the early 90s. There were no cell phones. So at the time I had discovered angels and I had my guardian angel Angelica. And I was like, I got to the point where the police wouldn't open the car for me. My mother wasn't there. I called my father Colette at home from a payphone, and he was like, I don't have time to, now I have to take a shower and come all the way into the city to get you, blah, blah, blah. I don't have time for this. So I was really felt abandoned. So I called my friend Lydia, and my friend Lydia said, oh my God, I'm so glad you called me. A guy has your pocketbook. He's downtown and he called and he said your phone bill was in the pocketbook and he looked to see who you called the most. And he called me and he told me that he had your pocketbook and he gave me the address. And I'm so glad you called. So here's the address. Go down there and he's going to give you your stuff back. So long story short, I go all the way down. So I walk all the way back downtown. I use that $20 to get a cab, I think, like I get to like we're down in the village. Like there's no, street numbers anymore. I finally find this address. I get to this guy's house and he opens the door and he has my purse. He has my wallet, but there's no credit cards. The only thing that's left in there is there's no credit cards. There was no cash, but there was like I had my registration. Now I had my car keys, or I had what I needed to get into the car, and I have my driver's license. And he hands me the purse, and he has no pupils in his eyes. Like I'm just looking in his face, and I'm like, this. And he was a white guy with blonde hair, like he was like almost iridescent. And he hands me this and he opens the door just so much. And he says to me, here you go. And he hands me the thing. And I'm like, oh my God. Now, this was 6 hours later. I mean, this has been going on for 6 hours in Manhattan by myself. And I was just like, oh my gosh, oh my gosh. And he said, yeah, I found it in the park and they had taken your wallet was over here and the bag was over here. And something just said I should do this. And so I took the bag and I said, oh, thank you. So I was so grateful. I mean, you're just exasperated. I turn around and I'm, walking away. And then I turn around to look back at him and he's not there. Like he's not there. As I go, so I finally get back up to my car. I get in the car and I put my head on the steering wheel. I was like, oh my God, I can't believe. So I'm about to drive home. And as I pull out of the parking space, a truck stops in front of me and it's horizontal. and it says Angelica, my guardian angel's name, on the truck. And that was the first massive miracle I had ever experienced, and where I was really truly like at the mercy of spirit. Like there was no, all of my intellectual, my intellectual smarts and my street smarts and being a New Yorker and a New York kid and all that just failed me. You know, I did the best I could with what I had, but that's was my first like orchestrated, energetic experience.
Wow, when I